probably fair because nowadays dairy farmers just use machines to milk cows for them. So if Nintendo's been doing their research on cow milking, they probably have some hands-on experience.
That actually might be pretty funny.
Listen, Nintendo's been milking their IPs for 2 decades. They're very good at this.
See, the thing is that, I mean, like, look, I know that we got the cow milking mini game, but, like, can we get the bull semen farming mini game? Is that possible? It seems really close to the cow milking.
Similar hand gesture.
Exactly, right. I don't think the programming has to change much.
They actually make that joke in Power Rangers.
They do, actually. They do make...
Yeah. It's in like the first 5 minutes of the movie.
It is.
It is.
It was in the first 5 minutes where I'm like, what movie am I seeing right now?
Yeah.
I'm in Power Rangers, right?
Jason and some no-name guy you never see are basically taking a cow into the
other team's locker room.
Yeah, the other team's locker room. And the guy...
The cow is the mascot, isn't it?
Yeah. And the guy's like, oh, I milked it earlier. And he goes, dude, this is a bull. And he goes, oh, that's probably why there was only one and I had to use 2 hands. And then he just gets really awkward and embarrassed. I'm like, oh my God, did they just make that joke?
Actual joke in Power Rangers, worth seeing. Ghost in the Shell, not worth seeing. Awful.
Well, here's the thing, though, is that, I mean, like, Power Rangers didn't take it to the next logical level, which is where he took that freshly milked cream and he put it in his coffee and really found strangely that he really enjoyed his coffee.
Is this Power Rangers featuring the cast of American Pie?
We actually don't know that the character didn't do that.
Yeah, exactly.
He coulda.
Yeah.
That's your penis.
I think you need to go back and re-examine that movie for context clues. So wait, Joe, you had mentioned Ghost in the Shell, not seeing, not worth seeing.
Pass.
Did you see it?
Oh God, yeah.
Was it how bad was it?
Okay, I gave Power Rangers a 7 out of 10. It was fine. It was a decent movie. Ghost in the Shell, 2 out of 10 tops.
Really?
It's so bad.
What made it bad specifically?
All right, well, we're going to start with the much shorter category of what was acceptable about it. And that was that it looked like Ghost in the Shell until like the last 10 minutes where suddenly a lot of the effects got really bad. Like you could see like the neckline of her suit in the last 10 minutes. You're like, all right, that's not great.
Okay.
Anyway, the characters, with the exception of maybe Bateau, are pretty bad. And Beat Takeshi's character is great, but only because it's Beat Takeshi, not because the character's well written.
Right.
They gave the major definitive backstory, so you can now have a confirmed past for her, if you're happy about that.
Pretty sure it's not canon. Is it canon? Is this story considered canon?
I don't know.
I wouldn't think.
I wouldn't think it would
It's
be.
garbage, so I'm not considering it canon. Let's see. Kuze was a pretty awful. Oh God, it is. You use the term poochie-ized a lot.
Yeah.
The main bad guy of this is the most poochie-ized American corporate bad guy you've ever seen in your entire life.
Like,
his name is Batty McBad Guy. He's really awful.
Is he
thinks Major Kusanagi. I'm sorry. Major Mira Killian is a. That's her name in this. Major Mira Killian is a weapon, and she's just property.
Wait, Major Mira Killian?
Yeah, that's what she calls herself for the first 80% of the movie. That's her name.
Killian?
Major Killian?
Yeah.
Why?
Because that's her name.
She kills a million.
That's her name. Oh, I'm sorry. You know, until later when they find out what her actual name is. But we know. No, her name is Mira Killian for now.
Kills a million.
I would have walked out on this movie if I hadn't been there with my brother.
Ugh.
Yeah. No, it's awful.
Okay.
It's really bad.
So speaking of ghost movies, how does this compare to the new Ghostbusters movie?
I enjoyed the new Ghostbusters way more than I enjoyed Ghost in the Shell.
Wow.
It's not even close.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Damn.
No. By the way, did you enjoy one thing about like Ghost in the Shell and Standalone Complex? Did you enjoy the element of subtlety?
Yeah.
I thought that was a great, strong part of it. Why couldn't there be any of that in the movie? Why did they spell everything out in big, bold letters?
Oh, man.
Like the scene where she meets her mom, and her mom recognizes her despite her being a robot.
How does she have a mom if she's a robot?
Well, no, her mom recognizes that it's the spirit of her daughter is in there. Her cat also recognizes her.
Well, that makes sense. Cats can see spirits.
Christ.
But it's okay that she has a cat because Bateau earlier in the movie is like, you seem more like a cat person to me. It was real subtle. It was great.
Oh, no.
Dude, this movie's so bad.
Oh, no.
Like, I went into Power Rangers with zero expectations and walked out thinking, I really enjoyed that. Outside of maybe the last half 20 minutes of the movie, it was really strong.
You hated the last part where they actually Power Rangers?
Yeah. Are you
it
sure?
gets way worse once they're in the suits.
Are you sure your Tumblerina DNA isn't kicking in, and you're just not reflexively going racist?
I think one of us is gonna have to see it so that we can make sure that we're getting like a good read on this movie. And we can trust what he's saying.
Please,
1, 2, 3,
spend your $10 and go see it.
If you go earlier
tell
in the
me
day,
how wrong I am.
It's only $4. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
No, listen, ScarJo was fine. She was great. I thought she played the character fairly well, although I'll say this version of the Major is far less likable than the anime one, but
she's not Asian.
So?
How can she
Well,
be
don't worry.
Asian?
They do confirm that she was originally Asian. That's confirmed now. It's okay.
But
They've confirmed whitewashing.
If
It was very funny that they made that choice after the huge controversy. Like, that's pretty funny to me. But
if she was originally Asian, then why does her cat recognize her? If she's not Asian anymore.
ask the writers. I don't know. I thought the movie was trash. And by the way, so did about the 30 people who got up and walked out of the movie during the course of it. I was keeping track.
Wow.
It got hard because I had to kind of keep track. Like, some people were just coming back from the concession stands, and then I realized wait, no one's coming back. That's odd. Oh wait, maybe it's because the movie sucks ass.
Ow. I mean, okay, did you see Dragon Ball Evolution?
I did see Dragon Ball Evolution.
Better or worse than Dragon Ball Evolution?
It's better than Dragon Ball Evolution, but I would have to I couldn't give you a reason why.
Because Scarlett Johansson is running around in a tight-ass bodysuit.
Yeah, which is surprisingly not sexy. You would think that would be sexier than it was. Yeah. It's really not that appealing. They do a really good job of making you realize that this is just a bodysuit and really synthetic.
I mean, the thing is, though, is that I really feel like this movie was rushed. Like, we heard about the casting and that it was starting shooting, and then, it's not even 6 months later, and we have...
It felt very rushed.
Yeah.
Because, the story of it, literally the beginning of the movie, as she's, being put into, her, her suit, her body is coming together, the Baddie McBad guy and Erica Von Ripley from Alien are talking about it, and he's just I want her sent over to Section 9, and the other lady's but you can't just treat her like that. She's a person. And then she's she's not a person. She's a weapon. I'm oh my God. This is not supposed to be happening in the first 5 minutes of the movie.
Well, you gotta get this shit out there, okay?
Well, they sure got the shit out there.
Oh my God. And then I just heard this week about someone being attached to the Akira film that I was okay with.
Yeah, no, it was
who was that?
Peele, wasn't it?
I shared that on Facebook.
No,
Jordan Peele, wasn't it? The guy who
that's exactly who it was.
He just did Get Out, and it was awesome.
Yes, yeah. Get Out was great. But I mean, Jordan Peele, though, at the same time, I think, man, if he's got a vision for it, let him do it, because I think he makes really smart movies.
By the way, one more thing on Ghost in the Shell: the bad guy's name is Cutter. So, that probably says
that's what
it all.
I wish that Hollywood would realize with all these successes like Deadpool and Logan, is that you can just let your director and the writers do their thing. You don't have to, figure out, hold on, how do we make sure we sell it to mass audiences? How do we make sure we reach the most demographic age groups possible?
Yeah.
And you can actually have a good fucking movie.
That's exactly what this was. This was a bunch of corporate suits saying, how do we get this? How do we get people who don't watch anime to like this?
So it was like a paint by numbers version of Ghost in the Shell,
if you want to call. Oh, by the way, they refer to her being a ghost in the shell in the first 3 minutes of the movie. They spell that out plainly.
No.
They're literally as she's waking up, she's we built you a new shell, but don't worry, your ghost remains within.
Oh no!
Oh yeah. And they call her a ghost.
I get it now.
Amazing.
They say the word ghost no less than 20 times in that movie.
I think the chat's right. I think this is going to be an instant cult classic.
In the way that, movies like Birdemic and The Room are, sure.
Sharknado.
Yeah, it's awful.
Wow.
Here's what I'm going to tell you. I went on Friday, which was, Thursday night was obviously opening night, but Friday, opening day. My theater started at maybe 40% capacity, topped at an 8 p.m. showing on a Friday. And it ended with a 10% capacity. Yeah.
After credit scene?
Yeah. Oh, I was just going to ask.
We left the second the credits started rolling, so I don't know.
Oh, jeez.
I wasn't staying for another minute of that movie.
Did they set it up for a sequel?
No.
No?
they didn't kill the Major, so he's still alive and doing military shit. So I guess they could.
Well, I mean, even if they did kill the Major, they just put her ghost into a new shell.
Yeah, I mean, like the storyline with Kuze ends in this one, I guess. You could, if they wanted to do it, they don't close the door completely, but like they didn't leave a cliffhanger for a sequel.
If movies like Underworld and Resident Evil have taught us anything, it doesn't matter if they set it up for a sequel. There's going to be a sequel, and they're just going to disregard the entire previous movies anyhow.
To be fair, Resident Evil, each movie did actually set up the next movie.
Yeah, but in the next movie, they completely ignored the last movie anyway.
That is true. That is true. They did that from, what was that, 5 to 6?
Yes, I actually just watched 5 and 6, and when 6 started, I'm like, wait, where the fuck is Jill and Leon and Ada? What the fuck? And why is Wesker evil again?
It doesn't make any sense.
You're right, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, God. Because Wesker can only ever be evil.
But now the Red Queen's a good guy, so it's fine. Like, oh my God.
Fuck everything. Just, it's Resident Evil. Just enjoy watching Mia Jovovich do spin flips around things for an hour and a half.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Oh, I enjoyed the new Resident Evil far more than Ghost in the Shell, for comparison.